Hey guys, hello and welcome. And today we will talk about this Wow Science, and by publishers is DK, and we will learn a lots of amazing thing about the science. What are the amazing stuff that we're gonna learn here? First is the book is Wow Science as it's mentioned, and publishers is DK, London, New York, and publishers toll free number. Here are all the details, and they contain all the copyright. What is I'm doing here is just read it. First published in Great Britain 2011. Okay, science never getting old. It's new as it is. So written by Gifford and consulted Lisa Bourke. Okay, so they are the who actually formed this book, and this book is with awesome images are there. We will see them one by one. So what are the topics? Let's take a glimpse. The living world, life on earth, mostly about life on earth, plant structure, reproductions, evolutions and extinction, insects and arachnids, reptiles and amphibian, birds, underwater lives, mammals, ecosystem, human body, skeleton and muscles, blood and breathing, the digestive systems, brain and sense, body repair and genetics. I think after reading this you will be a doctor definitely. Non licensing. After that we will talk about the earth origin, plants and faults, planets and faults, earthquake and volcanoes, rocks and soil, weathering and erosion, fossils and strata, water, weather, natural resources, human impact. After that, in chapter 3 we will talk about matters and materials, building blocks, the periodic table, state of matters, different kind of smart matters, then properties of matter, chemical reactions, mixture and compound, acid, base and salt, and material science. Okay, pretty good. In the fourth chapter we have energy and force, and in the energy and force chapter we have energy, force, motion, simple machine, electromagnetics, spectrum, sound, heat, light, electricity, magnetism and using of electricity, almost a physics part. So here is the physics part, here is the geography part, earth, and here is the earth living. First chapter is about uh, wait, let me go again this chapter. Yeah, this one. So this one is about biology, and earth is about geography, material is about chemistry, energy force is all about physics, and astrophysics, astrology, no, not astrology, astrophysics. And then we will talk about physics, another top part, universe, about space and all. So space, the universe, the galaxies, stars and star life and death. Okay, the solar system, the sun and moon, asteroid, meteoroids and comets, seeing into space exploration, and that's all. So pretty awesome content as it's in the mentioned index. Now it will be far more better, far more interesting while we will read all of them. So first chapter we have the living world, the life on earth, and let's start. So this is a pretty good and awesome marines picture here it's given. This is a full of life. A coral reef is packed with marine life, different species of fish and crustaceans, marine plants, mammals, as well as billions of microscopic plankton make the water around a coral reef their home. Coral reef. So this is what we wanna learn in this chapter, living world. Okay, there are a few things I can notice here. One jaguar and few other animals, a bird, polar bear, and okay, let's first one by one, then we will talk on that. So life on earth, life exists in rich abundance on earth. A species is a group of living organisms such as human, golden eagles and blue whale, which share common characteristics and can breed with each other. Scientists have identified almost 2 million different species, although there may be many more. So we only identify the 2 million, and also there are many more are left. So they are divided up into 5 kingdoms. 5 kingdom. Kingdom of plants, kingdom of animal. So we are the king of the animal kingdom, you can say. And fungi kingdom, bacteria, and single-celled organism, SCO, the known as the protista. Protist. All share some basic characteristics of life that enable them to survive. So plants, animals, fungi, bacteria all are microscopic level of stuff. Many plants also, even animals too, and single cell maybe virus and some kind of stuff like that. So let's talk about this food energy. All living things require food. Definitely they have to eat something, irrespective of their choice, which they digest for energy, to fuel their movement, to maintain and repair their bodies. So why we eat foods? To biologically satisfy our body, and digest and we digest it for energy, to fuel the movement, to maintain and repair the bodies, and for growth obviously important, for food important. Then creature are called sorry animals that eat other creatures are called carnivorous. Animals that eat other creature are called carnivorous, such as osprey catching a fish. Then animals that eat only plants are called herbivorous. Animals that eat only plants. Plants, in the sense the vegetarian, someone is vegetarian, someone is meat lover, right? Those who eat meat we call carnivores. Those who are satisfied with plants, vegetables, then we call them herbivorous. While those that eat both plants and animals are called omnivorous. Okay, those who are satisfied with both, like animals, like human beings are, we eat both animals, meat, as well as plants, vegetables. So we are vegetarian as well as non-vegetarian. So we eat both. So we are omnivorous. Plants make food through the process of photosynthesis, definitely, while fungi feed on decaying plants and animal matter. And while fungi, they are decaying the animals, like they are eating other animals and plants while they are died. Many times they are alive. And eagle's talons, these are the so long talons, are sharp and can grip very securely. Okay, that's good. You have an extra advantages. Now, why you give this to catch fish, to catch your food? Okay. Now, movement. Living things are capable of moving part of all of their bodies. Plants may be rooted in one place, but they can grow in different directions while their flower can open and close. This cougar, also known as the puma of or mountain lion, is the puma or mountain lion, is the largest predator animal in the United States. It can run up to speed of more than 50 km per hour. I thought it was a jaguar. No, it was a puma or mountain lion. And 50 km per hour uh, in short of sprint. So powerful hind legs muscles enable courage to leap up to 9 meter. Okay, he can jump so high, even though 30 feet. Cell division creatures. Let's talk about this guy. Cell division creates new cells essential for reproduction and growth. And we all maybe study in our books the cell division into two with identical nucleus in the center of the each new cell. Reproductions. Let's talk about that. All living things reproduce to create offspring, a new one. New individuals of the species. Asexual reproduction is found in bacteria, some plants, and other creatures. It involves just one parent that may divided in two or features apart that break off to form an identical offspring. Sexual reproductions involve male and female parents who create a new offspring with a mixture of traits from the two parents. Okay, that's look nice. Representation. Respiration. I'm sorry. It's a respiration. Respiration is the release of energy from food substance in all living cell. It is a chemical reactions and it can be either aerobic with oxygen or anaerobic with oxygen. And animals such as their polar bear respire aerobically, taking in oxygen from the surrounding air, or in the case of fish, from water. The oxygen is exchanged in a land animal lungs, a fish grill, or an insect's tracheas with carbon dioxide, which respirations create as a waste product. We all know about these respirations and all. We take oxygen, we remove carbon dioxide, and this gas exchange is going on in water with fish are doing with water. So that's the basic stuff. Even though it's growth is all plants and animals are capable of growth. They use food to create new cells and to increase their size. Plants grow from seeding into mature specimen, while animals grow from young to adult. The Pacific giant kelp is one of the fastest growing organism. Kelp, okay, on earth, and it is capable of growing by as much as 50 centimeter 20 inches per day. Wow, that's a growth. That is what actual growth in science. Responsiveness. All living things have an awareness of their surrounding, are able to respond to their environment. An animal may respond to sound, heat, or light with specially adapted nerve cells sending signals from one part of the body to another. Plants are sensitive to gravity, with stem growing upwards and root growing downwards. They also respond to light by bending towards light source. This is known as phototropism. Phototropism. Now this is not the time about phototropism. Where you are, phototropism? Okay, we reach. Here it is. Right. So we finish beautifully our first page with life on Earth. And here it is, we have plant structure. Basically here is a very small amount of information given, and also most of the part is with fully picturized. Okay, so should we move on to plant structure, or should we take pause for the next video? How long it happened, that's also matter. Let's finish this and then we will talk in the next part, in the next video. Next part we may talk about the plant reproduction. Okay, fine. Now plant structure. Plant structure, as we many times see, different plant have a different structure. There are more than 300,000 species of plant, ranging in size from a minute species of Wolfia, member of the duckweed family, to gain square trees, the largest of which stand more than 100 meter or 330 feet high, and botanists divided plant into those that produce flower and those that are non-flowering. Along with some bacteria, plants are the only living things that manufacture their own foods through the photosynthesis. Actually, no one create their foods, but plants who create foods using the sunlight in their leaf. So photosynthesis. So here is the plant, all the energy coming from there, and we produce plants. I mean, we culture plants, and then we eat, and some of them we feed, and then we eat. Transport. Most plants are vascular, contain special cells that transport viral substances. This cross section through a sunflower. Here it is a sunflower. Okay, cross section, and some of the dissolved mineral nutrients from the root up through the plant. Outside the xylem cell are phloem cells, and which carry sugar created during photosynthesis around the plant. So here is the xylem and phloem, as you see, and it's created sugar during the photosynthesis. So that's interesting. Now leaves release water and manufacture food. Plant structure. Plants are also divided into vascular plants, which contain tissues that transport water, nutrient and food around the plant. Right. Seeding of a young hazel tree already shown the parts that vascular plants share. Its root bind it into the soil, while its stem support its branches and leaves. Young stem rely on the pressure of water to stray upward, but gradually stiffen as the plant grow. So grow are new branches, and here you can see the actual seeds. So root networks branches out in a soil, and here it is, the primary root grow downwards. That's a very interesting stuff. Seeds from which the shoot was grow up and the root was grow down. Here is the stream of plants support the branches and leaves. So let's read something more about these leaves. Leaves are mostly flat structure connected to the stream by stalk, created the petole, a network of veins run through the leaf, carry water and nutrients to the leaf and glucose from it to the other parts of the plants. And leaves are made up of different layer and cell. The palisade layer has chloroplast, which contain chlorophyll, a chemical that gives plants their green color, and it is the chloroplast that photosynthesis is occur. Here is the structure, you can say, of a plant's cell. Through waterproof, tough and waterproof outer layer called the cuticle. Here is a cuticle, and there is a epidermis layer cover outer part of leaf, and here after that is palisade layer from upper part of the mesophyll, and this is the sponge layer from lower part of mesophyll too. So that is very interesting. The structure of a plant look nice. We saw it in a 3D view. Now let's read more about this converting sunlight. How actually sunlight being converted while trees are producing the food. Photosynthesis is the process where energy from sunlight is used to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. And chlorophyll too in a plant leaf absorb energy from sunlight. The energy rich glucose is transported around the plant as food, but can also be used to form more complex chemical substances. Those include cellulose, which is used to build the wall of the plant cell. Now chlorophyll 2 is stored in tiny structure, as you see, and structure called chloroplast. And if we go deep, we will see more, and you may read them about in your biology classes. Now let's read about this transition. Water carried through a plant evaporate into the air through tiny operating or proper called stomata in the surface of leaves. This process is called transpiration. This stomata on a clover leaf is surrounded by two guard cells that open or close the proper depending on environmental conditions. Plants transpire more rapidly at higher temperature. So what is this? This is a guard cell and stomata. Which called this? Nice. Now roots. Let's talk something about more roots. The plant's root help anchor in a position in the soil and support the plant's weight above the ground. Root can branch out sideways, but their primary movement is downwards into the soil. A root of a sharp-held tree found in African Kalahari deserts was found to have reached a depth of 60 meters, 223 feet above the earth. Wow. Root absorb water and nutrient from the soil. In some plants, roots store carbohydrate as a food. Wow. Root help the tree. So carnivore, what is carnivore? As we read them, the Venus flytrap is a plant that obtains some of its nutrient by trapping and digesting insects. It does this to replace nutrients that are lacking in the soil in which it grows. And native or coastal marshes in the US state of North and South California, a trap consists of two leaves called lobes. It triggers hair inside the tap are touch and lobe shut, and they are live in rest of peace. So this is about the plant structure, not all in depth in detail, but all are in a superficial layer. We talk about them, but in a great way. Okay, that's the next part. We will talk about this plant reproduction. Is it really? Yes, plant reproduction, like how plant reproduce using their pollen or their seeds. And then we will talk maybe evolutions and extinctions. Those are the very interesting stuff, like how we lost our some of our very ancestral animals and plants, and we are losing every day. Some are going to extinct, are also in the red data list. So we also lost because of our own reasons, because we are affecting, we are creating so much, we are damaging the environment. So so they don't have, they no longer they have their own habitat, so they are going to die and they are losing from the earth. And that is also very important, and we need to address that. So insects and arachnids, we will talk on that too. Then reptiles and amphibians, those are shaky part, but we will talk about them, where they come from, whether their ancestors are the Godzilla, the dinosaur or not. We'll also try to find out them. So this is all about, we talk about this living part and life on the earth, few basic stuff about the life and the plant structure, and we have rest of them, we have left rest, and we'll talk on them one by one. So thanks for watching, and keep watching, and have a pen and paper, take notes or read this copy. If you want this PDF, you can go and search for online, you get this copy. So read them, this book are very well, and I recommend you to buy them. And at least the images are very well, I really love them. And that's why now let's not go for more here in this video, and thanks for watching, and keep watching, and we will see you in the next part of this video. Thanks for watching.